Are you looking to create a webinar to promote your product that you created? In this video, I'm going to share tips on how to create a webinar that sells. So let's do it. My name is Leslie Samuel from becomeablogger.com, where I help people build their businesses with blogs. Now, I've been using webinars for years for one simple reason. They work. Of all the different promotional strategies I've tried, webinars have resulted in the most sales by far. And there are reasons for this. No, it's not that I'm just awesome at webinars and they were meant for me, but thanks for suggesting that. You're so sweet. But seriously, here are 3 reasons why I believe webinars perform so well. Reason number 1, you're able to demonstrate value up front. Think about it. For someone to buy from you, there has to be some level of trust. How do they know that you're going to deliver on the value you promise on that sleek and maybe convincing sales page? Well, on a webinar, they get to see you in action. And if you do a great job, they'll trust you more and be more likely to buy from you. And of course, you're watching this video, so you'll know exactly how to do it well. You know what I mean? Reason number 2. Energy. You know, when you get together with a group of friends to watch a movie, how does it feel? You get excited, right? There's a certain amount of energy that comes from doing something with other people. On a webinar, there's a shared experience that happens when the attendees are there, and it brings energy to the occasion. And trust me, that's way better than reading through some long pages I've seen. And reason number 3, the sense of urgencies. If you do a webinar in the way that I'm going to share in this video, there's going to be a sense of urgency for your attendees. And that's a great motivator for action. Or like we say in the Caribbean, action. Yeah, I know, it's the same thing, but hey. All right, so how do you create a webinar that sells? Let me share with you my webinar structure. Feel free to use it or adapt it to a structure that works for you and your business. But really quick, the email marketing service that I recommend for bloggers who want a simple but powerful way to build an email list and market to that list effectively. GetResponse also has the ability to do webinars without getting some separate service. Not only that, they just released their auto funnel feature, which makes it ridiculously easy to create marketing funnels for your email list, webinars, courses, or anything else that you have to sell. If you haven't tried it out as yet, use the link in the description to check it out. In fact, here's a demo webinar auto funnel that I set up. As you can see here, we have this landing page that I can use to send people to, and once they're there, they can register for the webinar. And of course, since this is all handled by GetResponse, they're automatically added to my email list. Now, you don't have to get a separate service to say, hey, if they register for this webinar, send a signal to my email marketing service and add them to my email list. It just happens automatically. Then I have this email that goes out, and in this email, I give them a free gift, and I also say a few things to get them excited about the webinar. I can remind them about the benefits they'll experience once they take action on the things that I'm going to teach them in that webinar. Then, of course, you can run the webinar directly from in GetResponse, as you see right here. And lastly, there is this thank you page here. This is the page that your attendees will automatically get redirected to at the end of the webinar. It can be a quick page thanking them for attending and then introducing them to your special offer. What's great is that not only does GetResponse handle all of this, it will also track all of the signups and conversions, the registrations, the attendees, and everything you need to see if your webinar is working well for you. Isn't that awesome? All right, now let's talk about how to structure your webinar so that it gets the job done and you make a bunch of sales. Now, the first stage of the webinar is going to be the pre-webinar banter. This is going to start maybe 5 or 10 minutes before the designated time for the start of the webinar. You just come on live and start engaging with the attendees who are on there early. You can start by asking them some simple questions like, who are they and what do they do, where they're from, or you can ask something else that's related to the topic of the webinar. If, for example, you're doing a webinar on doing webinars, man, how meta is that? But yeah, a simple question that you can ask is, have you ever done a webinar before? Type yes in the comments. The key is that it's simple and easy for them to answer quickly. Please don't go, asking them the meaning of life. That's just too deep and it takes too much thought. Now, since this isn't a webinar, let me go ahead and ask you, what is the meaning of life? Let me know in the comments below. No, I'm just kidding. Let's continue. The next section is the what section. This consists of two slides, a title slide and a slide that outlines what you're gonna cover. The main goal here is to set expectations and to hook their attention. You want them to know that they're in the right place because what you're gonna cover is what they wanna learn. Now, this section should only take about 2 or 3 minutes. Don't drag it out. Next is the why section. Why is this webinar important? Why do they need to listen to what you're saying? What pain will it help them solve? You want to sell the value of what you're teaching because if they resonate with your why, they're going to be way more likely to stick around to the end. Now, one of the best ways to do this is by sharing a story. One of the webinars I've done the most is about how to build a business with a blog. In my why section, I talk about how I went from being an unsatisfied high school science and math teacher to becoming a university professor in a doctoral program without a PhD, all because I had a biology blog that opened up the way for me to do that. Then I go into how I leveraged that blog to leave my job to become a full-time blogger who can work from home or from anywhere with an internet connection, and how my blog has led to me traveling the world, speaking to audiences all over the globe about things that I'm passionate about. By sharing my story, I capture their attention because they think to themselves, man, I would love to be able to do something like that. You see, they see why this webinar is so important for them to pay attention to. Now, the next section can be very much related to the previous section. That's the who section. Who the heck are you? This is where you let them know about who you are as it pertains to the topic of the webinar. You never know. Someone may have stumbled onto this webinar and maybe they don't even really know you. Demonstrate why you are qualified to speak on the topic you're diving into. Now, here's the thing. The why and the who sections can be combined, as in the case of, the story that I told you about before, or it can be separate, or it can even be reversed. It's all about doing whatever makes the presentation flow better. Now, everything up to this point shouldn't take a lot of time, no more than 10 or 15 minutes. So don't go all crazy telling them your entire life story. The most important section is coming next. All right, let's talk about that most important section. That is the how section. This is where you deliver the value, where you deliver on the promise that you made at the very beginning. If you said they're gonna learn how to build a business with a blog, then show them exactly how to build a business with a blog. The goal is to give them so much value that it could serve as a standalone product. Like, you can actually sell it as a complete course because it's that good. If I attend your webinar, I should be able to walk away, take action, and get results. That is what's gonna get them to trust the value that you provide and be more likely to buy what you're selling. And yes, this should be the longest part of the webinar. If everything up to this point was 10 or 15 minutes, this next section here should be at least 30 minutes of straight value. I can't tell you how many times I've been on webinars that said you're gonna learn a specific thing, and all you learn is that you have to buy from them to learn the thing that they said you're gonna learn, and it's so misleading and you lose trust. Just don't do it. And the last stage is the offer, which includes the when. By this point, you've over-delivered with some awesome, actionable content. Your attendees have fallen in love with you because of the tremendous amount of value you've just poured into their lives. And now they have a game plan that they can walk away with and take action. But of course, there's going to be people on there who want to take things further and get even more guidance. At this point, it's your responsibility to tell them about the amazing value that awaits them on the other side of your sales page. It's time for you to make that offer. Tell them about your awesome product and give them the details they need to make their decision. Be confident about the value your product offers and make your pitch clear. Now, once you've done all of that, it's time to make a time-sensitive special offer. This is what I meant by the when. Here's what we know. People are more likely to buy something when there's a sense of urgency. Now, in the case of your webinar, this can be a reduced price for those who take action by a certain time, or it can be an additional bonus that's available for those who take action by that time. I've done things like, giving a $1 trial, a reduced monthly price, or even offering additional coaching. Test out different options and see what works best for you. If you follow this proven blueprint, you're setting the stage for getting more sales of your product. That's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't tried the auto funnel feature as yet, what are you waiting for? Use the link in the description to check it out. And of course, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap that bell icon to be notified whenever we post more awesome content. My name is Leslie Samuel from becomeablogger.com, where we're changing the world one blog at a time. You take care.